Welcome to the Sports Arena, your front row ticket to the best in sports talk and entertainment. Great analysis, top-name guests, and news you can use from the sports landscape. So, take your seats, sit back, and relax, as you are now in the Sports Arena.
You know what you're capable of. Fix it.
And here's your host, Eric Wilson.
Wins. I'm like, all right, let's go. We get losses. I'm like, I need a minute. Let me collect myself.
What's going on, everybody? Man, Eric Wilson, Sports Arena's in the building, as well as media director for the National Scouting Combine. The gentleman I'm speaking with today, man, what I can say about him is not only is this guy a winner, but he creates winners. It was amazing to have the opportunity to speak to him at the 2024 National Scouting Combine. But to see what he has done, along with everybody else who is a part of the AAL2 champion, undefeated Wheeling Miners, is a story beyond itself. But let me get the man in here. My man, Coach Rez, is in the building. Coach, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Oh man, I can't. I appreciate it, and it's been pretty crazy since Saturday night.
So talk to me about that, because when last we spoke, this team was, I believe, 6-0, 7-0, and we were just simply talking about how the athletes that you had found at the 2024 National Scouting Combine, the impact they were having on this team to be that group that you wanted to put together, that family, if you will. Now, congratulations on being undefeated, 10-0, which is nothing short of amazing. But just talk to me about this team, the entire season, what you saw from beginning to end.
Yeah, so the first thing I'll say is, our players everyone's leaving out of the hotel tomorrow. Some guys have already hit the road on Sunday. Some left yesterday. A few more trickled out today. One of the things that was pretty cool that our owner said to me yesterday was, he was talking to a lot of the guys that were still there, and everywhere I've been, everybody, end of the season, last game, everyone's trying to get their check and get the heck out and go home and hit the road. And granted, it's 4 months is 4 months, 5 months, 5 months, whatever. That's still a long time away from home, from families and those type things. So I get it. You want to get back to the house or whatnot. This is the first time that guys were like, I don't want to go. I'm not ready to leave. So when you build that kind of culture and atmosphere, and it's real family oriented all around from inside out, and it shows on our game day experience and with the kids and the families and just the interaction from the players to the fans, that everything is genuine. There's nothing made up about it. There's not saying it and then we're doing a different thing. Like we're living it. And that of what we've created in Wheeling with the Miners is, I'm excited to see where we're going, because we haven't even scratched the surface yet of what we got going on. And that is scary in a sense for if you're other teams on the path when we're coming. And also we're getting blown up by players. We're getting hit up by, I'm like, some guys, I can't talk to you until certain dates from different teams. And, because now we're in a legit accountable league to where teams are held accountable for certain things. There's certain things, of transaction rules and all that stuff. We are going to be a destination for players from all over the country. When it's all said and done, we will be one of the toughest places to play in the country. It is very loud in there. When we had almost 4,000 people at the championship game, and it's from where we started from to barely 2,200, 2,300. Got killed at the Mother's Day game because we got bumped from the hockey playoff. So I'd be fortunate to say, lucky saying 1,500. It was probably closer to 12, 13, somewhere around that number. So we took a bath that game. And when I say that, we're not losing money like a lot of other teams are. So we are right where we need to be. So we just looked at numbers today. If we got to where we were the championship game and we can get close to that every regular season game and still grow that. Our venue only holds 5,400 people. So we get that thing averaging where we're at for championship game or higher and get this sold out. That's covering our operating budget. We ain't even talked about sponsors yet. We hadn't talked about other revenue streams. We haven't talked about our YouTube broadcast, which again is one of the tops in the country. So everything we've done, we positioned ourselves. It's been a lot of work. And I gotta lie. It's been, I got to the point now where we're working on adding more people into the organization to get involved with a lot of stuff. I've taken it where I can get it without. Now we're to the point where we got to get some more stuff involved to really take it to where I want it to go and where it can go. That's what we're looking forward to, and we're very excited.
So speak to me about that, because in a very short amount of time, you have basically, in a nutshell, if you will, transformed through your team. The entire league is kind of establishing the blueprint as far as what to do, how to do it, and then how to elevate it to, let's be clear, going from 2,200 to almost 4,500 in a season. You're talking about almost double the amount of people who are putting eyes on what the Wheeling Miners are doing. Talk to me about that. Going into an arena and at one point saying to yourself, okay, we've got to find a way to put more eyeballs and more butts in seats. Come the end of the season, you damn near doubled your number simply because of the team you put together and, of course, winning. Talk to me about that. And in that microcosm, Coach, what does that say about you, your staff, your organization, and just the entire compass of what makes the Wheeling Miners so attractive?
So a lot of stuff that we do in the community, like we are out in the community, we're involved. I am out. I am talking to businesses. I'm seeing fans. We're talking to people as we're going. Our players are interacting with people on the street and in the stores and in businesses. And it's to the point now where, like, you see our stuff all over the place. And that's awesome. So that is a collective effort from players to fans to support staff to fans leaving and going to tell 2 or 3 other people and then them going. And because once you see a game, you are telling your friends about the experience that you just had. And it's very inexpensive. Some people think the prices might be high, but not everyone has the ability to have disposable income, for stuff like that. So, but for the average person, it's very affordable. It's all around everything that we've done. The biggest thing that we had to encounter is, are we going to stay? Everyone has that question. Teams come and go and you're like, yeah, you guys are doing good stuff now, but are you really going to stick around and be back next year? So that's why I had that press conference right before our playoff game to let everybody know, A, we just got a 2-year lease extension with the arena, so we're not going anywhere. And B, we're announcing going into the National Arena League. You want a better competition? Check. So it's like we're doing all the things that you want us to do for you to support us. Now, if you really want us to be here for 20 years, now you got to come out and support us. And so not only are we doing these things in the community and off the field, but we got a good football team too.
Right.
Like if you watched us, you would see that they don't belong in this league that we're at. And I wanted to create that. I wanted our fans to be screaming at us of, where are we going next? What are we doing? I wanted the haters to be like, y'all ain't playing anybody, blah, 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 blah. And my response is, you are right and you are right. But the business comes first. And when we establish our fan base, we establish our comfortable operating budget to be able to sustain and be successful, we positioned ourselves to go whatever league we wanted to go. So when we made this jump to the NAL, we already had our overall operating budget mirroring where we wanted to go. So when we made that jump, it wasn't much of a change. And the transition is seamless to us because we're already kind of in that mode of where we need to be. And teams are looking at us, it's the stuff we're doing, and how are we doing everything. It's not any magic. We're doing what we're supposed to do. All your top teams in the country do the same thing. Some of the markets are bigger. You got the Arizona Rattlers, Jacksonville Sharks, Bay Area Panthers, Northern Arizona team in the IFL, Omaha Beef in the NAL, Sioux City and Omaha combined have been playing this game for 50 plus years. Wow. Each team 20 plus respectively. That's not just by coincidence. That's because they're ran like a business. And that's what we focused on. And that's what's going to allow us to last for a long time. And so much that we can do. We had the combine with National Scouting Combine with Kibble came. That was just almost for us. That was almost like a dangler out there to show this is what we can do. And some of those parents were like, there's nothing like this around here. And that's the point. So exposure to what we're doing, so they see that. We're going to have 200 kids at that dang combine next year. You remember this right here, whatever date it is. I don't know. Let me see.
July 9th, 2024.
When we have this next spring, 2025, we'll remember it was like, you know what? Eric and Josh said we were going to have 200 kids at this thing. And so, and that just shows, I know we hadn't announced anything with that stuff yet with, the scouting combine coming up, but a lot of good things coming up with that, with different things and whatnot. And I'm looking so forward to that. I got my player personnel guys. We already know Jay, he's already with us with National Scouting Combine. My guy, Ben, that we just brought on, he's huge out there in the market, in the arena game with players. And I'm like, dude, this could change the game for us from a recruiting standpoint. We're only going to bring in about 13 more dudes that can't. So why can't we get 13 dudes from the National Scouting Combine?
Listen, from your lips to God's ears, because listen, that's what it's all about. But let's talk about the team that you currently have right now. The team that you put together this year did an amazing job, not only from off the field, like you said, being in the community, but on the field, knowing and trusting and believing in one another. When you look at moving forward, because as you know, when you hit a certain level, with that comes the expectation. The Wheeling Miners had an undefeated season. So now I'm sure the questions are going to start coming. Can they do it again? Who are they going to put into certain positions if another player decides that they want to move their talents or maybe elevate themselves to a different level? How do you coach, taking the National Scouting Combine out of the equation for the moment? How do you remain dialed into not only the character, but also the style and also the attitude of the player that you want with your team going into 2025?
So the biggest thing for us is the extracurricular things, the food, the recovery process, the team doctors, the cryo system that we have through Thrive Wheeling, all these extra added perks of being a minor. And you're in a great community. You're in a football atmosphere. The fans love our team, to be respected in the community, to walk and sometimes might get your meal paid for just because you're out and about, not even out of one of our food places, just because someone sees that's a minor football player. I want to take care of his meal. We created that kind of culture and atmosphere here. So if you're really trying to elevate your career, then there's no reason why you don't come here. We created an atmosphere to where there's no reason to leave unless you get an NFL, CFL, or UFL call. That's it. Some guys had some opportunities to go to the IFL this year, the NAL, and one guy did go. It was a different situation for him, though, because the team is in San Antonio, and he lived 3 hours from there versus being in Wheeling, West Virginia. So I looked at it as, it's a great opportunity to play for another great coach in an awesome league and close to the house. So I would recommend you do that, dude. I mean, the difference is the league is a different prestige league. It is for the time for us. Being in, the AAL2 and whatnot, it was a step up. So, and you're close to the house. Now, if it was a situation to where it was maybe a step up, but you're still in the same situation, you might be a backup dude or whatever. Now you have to weigh the odds of I'm playing versus I got to prove myself, or I am the guy here. So there's a lot of different things, but we created it now more so for where we're going to, what we're in now with the NAL. Like, you're not going to want to leave. There's no reason to leave. It's almost like a lateral move now if you're not getting a call from the NFL, UFL, or CFL.
Coach, thank you so much for this. My last question before I let you get out of here, because, as you said, you've only been a couple days removed and you're already starting to prepare yourself for next season and look at things, from a totality perspective. What's your message to your current players, and also your message going to be to those players who are now invested in looking at becoming a Wheeling Miner themselves?
Yeah, so to the current players, they know where I stand. They know that I would do anything for them. I put them in great situations. For us to be successful, it's important for the players to be taken care of. I know what it takes to take care of them, and they received it. We said from the day one what we're going to do, and there was a lot of people. Coach Rez is crazy. Coach Rez is saying this, or we got to do this, but everything we said and done happened. And that doesn't always happen. That didn't happen because I am, the greatest ever. It's just, I knew what I wanted to do. I knew what it was going to take for us to get there. I just needed them to follow the plan. And sometimes it's hard to follow another man's process when you don't understand the vision. You have to have that blind faith, just like we do in our normal life with God and the way that things are supposed to be. That's the path. You gotta be able to do that if you want to be successful, if you're following someone else's plan. And for whatever reason, it worked out that way. And every single player will tell you the same thing, that the situation that they're in is, some of them is the best situation they've been in. Some of them came from some of the other leagues that were having problems. Some that were supposed to be very more elevated than us, that didn't have half of what we had, even a quarter of what we had. And they were just mind blown. Like, how is a developmental team have all these things and in a situation that a league that's supposed to be up here doesn't have? And I said, that's because what we're creating. And so from the players on the outside looking in, they see that. My greatest recruiting tool is my players, because they got all their friends, they got all their teammates, they have all these people, they influence on a lot of different things that people don't really realize. They spread the word. I don't really have to do anything. Then when I talk to them, they know that I'm being honest with them because their buddy just said that this happened to them, and so on and so forth. And we're going to recruit. We're going to go after some guys. I mean, we're in a position to where, we can go after some of the best guys in the country. Our housing situation, I can house as many guys as I need to. That's big. To be able to house your whole roster is pretty amazing. But we're going to have a lot of local guys. We were huge in the colleges. I got guys coming back that were from local colleges that are playing on other teams out in the country, and they see what we got going on, and they're coming back. And we're going to build a monster out here. And I am just ecstatic to bring that back, that type of atmosphere to the Ohio Valley area. I just, we could go on and on and on and just talk about that stuff, but it's just so exciting. We're blessed for the season that we had. It's going to be a fun off season. We just added some more teams to the NAL today. So that was pretty awesome. Helps us out. I get to play. I'm excited about playing, one of my former teams down in Carolina. That'll be cool. But Harrisburg coming on, Columbus, Georgia. Harrisburg's like 3.5, 4 hours from us. So that's like an instant rival for us. A lot of cool stuff, in the works ahead.
That's amazing. Coach, listen, I hear your phone blowing up. I know as much as I know you want to try and rest, time is of the essence because you've got to prepare yourself already for next season. But thank you for taking a little bit of time out of your day to be here with me. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, head coach Josh Resignalo. He is the 2024 American Arena League 2 champion, the undefeated Wheeling Miners. Coach, thank you so much for your time. Much love to you. I will definitely catch up with you and talk to you soon.
I appreciate it. Take it easy.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for your man, Eric Wilson, for the Sports Arena. Again, media director for the National Scouting Combine. Everybody stay blessed. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.